This chapter deals with allowances received from employers. What you're going to need to actually do this chapter, you're going to need chapter 11.2.3, allowances received from employers. In addition to that, you're going to need chapter 11.2.3.1, which is the solutions to all of the examples within this chapter. So, just in an introduction, there's essentially two types of allowances. This chapter deals with allowances in this first block over here. These are the allowances such as travel allowances, entertainment, cell phone, and subsistence allowances. The next chapter, chapter 11.2.4, will be dealing with reimbursable allowances. This is when your employer asks you to do something, gives you money to do something. So I'm just dealing with the allowances. Travel allowances, entertainment allowances, cell phone allowances, subsistence allowances. So considerations for allowances. So where I'm going to start off is I'm just going to start with the Section 8 of the Act. Now, Section 8 of the Act deals with allowances and what you need to do with them. And I've paraphrased. So included here where there's a little bit of dots, I've left out a little bit of the sections, but I've put down the most important parts just to give you an overview. So it says Section 8 of the Act states there shall be included into taxable income. And it's very important that it says taxable income. This is not gross income we're dealing with. Travel allowances go after gross income, go after deductions, go after exempt income because they're included in taxable income, just like capital gains tax. So allowances go into your taxable income calc where CGT is. And it says any amount which has been paid as an allowance or advance. So any amount that's been paid as an allowance or an advance goes into your taxable income calculation at that line. This could be a travel allowance up here, an entertainment allowance, a cell phone allowance, and a subsistence allowance. Any one of these can actually go in there. And it says excluding. Now, because it uses the word excluding, there is not a deduction for the reductions in the travel allowance. It's excluding certain amounts. And look what it says. It says expended by the recipient on AA, traveling, BB, on any accommodation, meals, and incidental costs. That would be a subsistence allowance. When you're obliged to spend at least 1 night away, or by reasons of duties for holders of public offices. So only 3 allowances can actually be reduced in terms of Section 8. Travel, subsistence, and then allowances for holders of public office. Looking at the notes, let's go through that. It says, number 1, allowances are not included in gross income but taxable income. Allowances are found in a tax calc after income, deductions, and exempt income, along with capital gains tax. 2, the use of the word excluding means that the net portion of an allowance is placed into taxable income. If as a travel allowance, if a travel allowance of 10,000 can have an amount of 3,000 excluded from it, the amount of 7,000 should be placed in taxable income. If 10,000 is included in income and 3,000 is claimed as a deduction, this is totally wrong. 7,000 taxable income is the correct answer. Please, the 3,000 Rand is not a deduction for income tax purposes. And 3, you can only reduce travel allowances, subsistence allowances, and holders of public office allowances. No other allowances can be reduced themselves. So, I want you to consider this example. It says, an employee earns a salary of 120, earns interest of 40,000, of which 23,800 is exempt, gets an entertainment allowance of 10,000 and gets a travel allowance of 30,000. Using the deemed cost table, the travel allowance may be reduced by 19,000 Rand. 5,000 Rand was spent on entertaining clients during the year. Calculate taxable income. It is very, very important that you get the order right with this. So, salary goes in, interest income less your exemption, 23.2. Entertainment deduction, not going to be given one. Number 1, in terms of Section 8, you can't reduce an entertainment allowance. The only 3 allowances that can be reduced are traveling, subsistence, and for holders of public office. And second of all, he earns a salary. And Section 23M of the Act says that you cannot claim an entertainment deduction if you earn a salary. After you've done all of your gross income, your exempt income, and your deductions, then your allowances come in. So your entertainment allowance of 10 comes in. You can't reduce it, so it's still the 10,000 Rand there. The travel allowance, it's not 30 going in minus 19. It's the net amount of the travel allowance, because Section 8 says what goes in, there shall be included into taxable income any amount excluding the amounts that you take off. So how much is going to go in? 30 minus 19, 11,000 Rand. If you were to do this as two-line items with a 30 minus a 19, you wouldn't get any marks, because that's not how the section works, and that gives you 157,200. Now, it says here, if the employee received commission and not salary, the entertainment expense is claimed as a deduction in terms of the general deduction formula. Section 23M would not apply. So if you don't understand this, you need to go to the chapter on Section 23M on deductions, and it will go through there. However, look at the order that you're going to do stuff in. First thing you're going to do is salary, interest, income, exemption. The entertainment deduction comes before the entertainment allowance. The section on allowances does not allow you to reduce the entertainment allowance. So deductions come before allowances, and because you're a commission earner and you incur entertainment expenses on earning your commission, you're allowed to claim the 5,000 as a deduction. Entertainment allowance comes thereafter, as will a travel allowance itself. It's very important that you get the correct order in your solution when you're doing this. So, in summary, it says allowances go into a tax calculation after gross income exemption and deductions. Only allowances that can be reduced are travel and subsistence allowances for purposes of the syllabus. Okay, holders of public office do not form part of the SACA syllabus. The reductions to travel and subsistence allowances are not deductions. They reduce the taxable amount. We put 11,000 in. We don't claim it as a deduction. And it says expenses can be claimed against other allowances if commission income exceeds salary income, and the amounts would be deductible in terms of the Act. Okay, entertainment is deductible in terms of the Act, in terms of the general deduction formula. But look where it is, before the allowances.